Welcome back. Now we are straight off an attempt on the former president's life, unfortunately, and I think that this is going to help him out tremendously. If I had to kind of look at this objectively, help him out tremendously in the polls. What they say, three things typically happen. Number one, they try to assassinate your character. You see the lawsuits, the convicted felon, things of that sort, which unfortunately did not work. So what's the second thing they say when they trying to take you out? They again attempts on your pocketbook, your finances, your wallet, so to speak. And again, he had some judgment against him that came down. He had to pay an exorbitant amount of money to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. And unfortunately, that did not work at all. Actually, it worked in the reverse, which he had was able to fundraise for people donating to his campaign tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. So again, that second prong didn't work when they're trying to take you out. And the third and final prong is, unfortunately, they tried to assassinate you. And it seems like that was attempted today. Unfortunately, you never want to see anybody go through that, much less a political office. Again, this is not like some other countries where, again, they're kind of often their political leaders left and right. America, we don't supposed to run like that. But again, thankfully, it seems like he's going to pull through. He got up pumping his fist. And hey, whether you hate the guy, you love the guy, whether you hate his politics, is one thing that I think we can all agree. There's not too many, not only leaders, but just people in general that are like Donald J. Trump in terms of what America means to him, his fight, his toughness, his grit. When you think of you have to kind of think really back to like the MLKs and the Roosevelts, where hey, they were going to continue to fight regardless of what was coming down. And again, it's actually impressive given the fact that this guy is almost 80 years old, fighting the way he fights, as sharp as the way he is. Again, just kind of saying it from an objective standpoint. Again, you have to give it up for him on that. And we're going to get off into a few more lawsuits. Me, as an almost 10-year intellectual property attorney, dealing with everything from trademarks to patents to copyrights, trade secrets. Again, this guy is Donald Trump. We're talking about is going through lawsuits with the Mar-a-Lago estate, with the SA. He's going through, again, we can see here attempts on his life, unfortunately, and he's going through other lawsuits that he's having to deal with on the intellectual property front, which again we're going to take a look at here shortly. Having to sue Chinese manufacturers of knockoffs of the Trump sneakers. We all know those hit the scene a couple months ago and went crazy. Currently sold out, retailing for $400. Sold out instantly on his website. Well, it seems like the Chinese manufacturers, or at least some international, let's say, manufacturers. I would have guessed that they are from China, but I guess the lawsuit doesn't say. It seems like they are, as these shoes are sold out, are trying to take advantage of an opportunity. So, like I said, let's take a look at this lawsuit. I'm not going to keep you guys too long today, but I did want to kind of break this because this is a fairly recent lawsuit. Makers of Trump sneakers seek millions in damages from counterfeit sellers in federal lawsuit. So it's a federal lawsuit because we're dealing with intellectual property. IP is typically on a federal ranks. You have your state court. Let me bring it back to me. You have your state court issues, and then you have your federal issues. Now, what type of issues do people typically bring in state court? You have your real estate. You have criminal. You have some civil stuff. Those are typically brought in state court. Now, obviously, you can have some criminal stuff that rise to the level of federal court, as well as, I guess, some civil issues. But typically, those are reserved for the state. However, federal, intellectual property being one of those things that are really exclusively on a federal side is go back to the Constitution. It's in the Constitution. So any trademark lawsuit, any patent lawsuit, any copyright lawsuit, those are typically going to be filed in federal court. So that's what you're seeing here in this article. And this is a Forbes article. So, reputable source. So let's kind of quickly read it. It's a short article. The makers. So it seems like Trump actually licensed or gave essentially someone else, a manufacturer, the ability to make these shoes, sell these shoes. And I'm assuming that he's collecting some type of royalty of 4 or 5%. That's typically standard, 4 or 5% royalty on each shoe that's sold, or maybe it's more than that, just because we're talking about the Donald Trump. So again, going back to the article, which came out earlier this month, July 2nd, the makers of former President Donald Trump line of sneakers filed a lawsuit on Monday, so they're protecting their investment, seeking to crack down on online merchants selling counterfeits after limited edition versions of the shoes sold out within a couple of hours after lunch. I'm telling you, man, this guy has some power. Whether you like him or you don't. This is the shoe right here. You see, you got the gold, the shiny gold. You see the red bottoms there, the red sole. You see the T, which is a trademark. See the American flag on it. $400. I don't think I've ever paid $400. I'm more the $80-$90 range, but it seems like you talking with his supporters, they snatch those things up quickly. So in a filing with the U.S. federal court in Arizona, the company 45 Footwear, so that's the name of the company that Donald Trump gave the rights, the license to sell the footwear, 45 Footwear LLC, which again, they're filing that lawsuit to protect their investment, which is okay, requesting an order prohibiting the sale of the counterfeits, registering and operating website promoting their sale and infringement of their trademark logos and designs. So again, what we talked about, this is IP. So you're talking about trademark logos and designs that falls under the trademark. So what is a trademark? It identifies the source. It identifies the source of the source of the goods that's sold, the goods or the services that's sold. So again, I always use this example. If you're going down the street driving, you're hungry, you like McDonald's, you see the golden arches, then you're going to say, okay, that's McDonald's. And you're going to pull over to the drive-thru, get your chicken nuggets, so forth and so on. So typically when you see this bright gold shoe and you got the Trump logo and they're calling these things the Trumps, you're like, oh, this is affiliated with Trump. So that's essentially, again, trademark. You're identifying that brand to the consumers. So that's essentially what a trademark is, and that's what they're claiming, essentially trademark infringement. The shoemaker has also sought any and all profits earned by the counterfeit sellers or damages of $2 million for each and every unauthorized use of their trademarks, along with $25,000 for each copyright violation. And this $2 million number as well as $25,000 number, that's statutory. That's, for every trademark you can get up to $2 million. The statute says, and this is interesting. So they're saying, hey, we're suing these guys for trademark infringement as well as copyright infringement, which are two separate things. We talked about trademark. Just overall, think of trademark as branding. It's the branding of like I said, it's trademark. It's a logo. It can be a word, but it's obviously we know the word Trump is trademark. We know that T is trademark. So it's all about branding, helping consumers identify the source of the goods or services. So that's trademarks. But then what is copyright? Copyright is more so creative works. Think of 2D pictures. Think of 3D pictures. Think of 3D artwork. Think of books, music. These things that are more creative writings fall within that realm of copyright, which is still, guided by federal law. So let's see what they're saying about it. So they're, 45 Footwear LLC seems like they're suing, some international alleged wrongdoers for not only trademark infringement, but copyright infringement. And you see here in parentheses, it said that the copyright is involved in their use of their promotional images for the sneakers. So it seems like they're saying they essentially took our marketing materials and they're using our exact same marketing materials, which is, a form of copyright, and that's copyright infringement. Let's, I want to show you, I think this is going to be good. So this is, and we kind of saw here a little bit, but this is the real Trump sneaker. This is you see the American flag with the 5 stars. You see the T there, gold, the red sole. Seems like the inner, not the inner sole, but you have a white sole there too. But these are the legit sneakers here. You see the tongue with the T on there. So these are the actual, you got the 2 inside of it. You got the box with the Trump. So these are the actual Trump sneakers, the legit Trump sneakers, which are sold out. So let's go to the knockoffs, and keep in mind that those Trump sneakers are retailing for $400, $399.99. So let's look at the knockoffs. Look, man, anytime you see a shoe that's giving you 50% off and it's a luxury brand, that's typically luxury brands. You will never see Louis Vuitton or Gucci or Prada, these luxury brands giving you a $200 discount of items that cost hundreds of dollars. So your antenna should already be going. you can see here that it already looks different. The red looks kind of a little off. The American flag looks kind of looks, it doesn't look as clean cut as we just saw. So I would imagine that these are one of the infringers that are selling for 50% off. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that these can pass, or it's like, nah, this is, I can tell you the American flag look off. The T looks kind of similar. It seems like the gold is a little different, but I can guarantee you that these things are not the real thing. Let me pull up the real thing one more time for you guys so you guys can see. And these are from Trump's website. So this is from the website that I'm pulling the real thing right here. You see the gold looks, it just pops a little bit more. The American flag looks a little, it looks a little American. I mean, it looks a little more authentic. And then you see the red is a little bit more darker as opposed to the knockoff. Seems like they are a little bit lighter on the red. But as you can see here, sold out. And that's unfortunately when something is selling like that, you're going to have wrongdoers. You think of, it's not like shoe where you're just making these things like hotcakes, unless you're Nike or you're making these things at mass. You're a shoe manufacturer that makes these things at mass. 45 footwear. I mean, I'm pretty sure they have to kind of get these things redone or remanufactured so that they can sell. Or maybe it was a limited edition shoe that was only selling so many, and once it's sold out, it's sold out. But now you have these knockoffs that are trying to capitalize off of the fact that people like the shoe, people are buying up the shoe. And 45 Footwear LLC, who essentially are partnering with Trump on these things, said, no, not so fast. So I get good for them that they're protecting their investment. But you gotta think. And I'll even say this. Let me get back to the article so we can kind of finish it off. But I would even say this, with something like that's happened today with the attempt on Trump's life, you would imagine that his merchandise is going to go through the roof even more. They're going to raise even more money, a ton of money, whether it's the shoes or merchandise, apparel, hats, the MAGA hats, whatever the case may be, anything associated with Trump. Do not be surprised over the next couple of days, similar to after you had the ruling in the courts, he was able to raise, or people donated hundreds of millions of dollars to his campaign. I think this is a similar thing after something so just gross, something so disrespectful, so cowardly. You would imagine that, or don't be surprised if his campaign gets another influx of cash in support of him. So this is important because now he has his intellectual property protected. He has his brand in Trump. He has the T, the logos, the different brands protected, the copyrights protected, so that to the extent that somebody's trying to kind of pick off those donations or see this is another opportunity to capitalize off of Trump getting an influx of money, he's going to be able to sue those entities, those corporations. And the good thing about it, as the article says, we get back to it, they're going to hold that money. And that money, and this is a trademark and a copyright, which is a lot more straightforward than patents, but they're most likely, especially if it's a kind of cut and paste or cut and dry trademark or copyright infringement, he's going to win pretty easily and be able to recoup that money. So it's not like, okay, they were able to sell some stuff and kind of, okay, we're going to cut it off, even though he filed a lawsuit. No, that money that they made, they still are, will be able to, a Trump team, I'm saying, will be able to get that money from these wrongdoers, from these infringers. So let's finish off on this article here. The filing does not name any defendants, but refers to them as individuals, unincorporated business associations, and business entity who reside primarily outside of the U.S. So it seems like China, Taiwan, wherever, somewhere outside the U.S., they're trying to capitalize off these fake Trump sneakers. The plaintiff alleges websites used to sell or advertise the counterfeits are registered in Arizona. So it seems like a company that's registered in Arizona. This stuff gets pretty sophisticated. You got a company that's doing, that's based internationally. They're registered here domestically in Arizona. And, it seems like by the domain registry firm GoDaddy and Namecheap. I've never heard of Namecheap before. The lawsuit notes that the defendants are selling knockoffs, $3.99 limited editions. So they're seem like they're selling it for as low as $100. I showed you the $200 pair, which I wouldn't be surprised if that same company is one of the wrongdoers is the company that was selling them for $200. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I think that's pretty much the end of the article. So what do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments. What do you think about the attempt on his life? What do you think all the stuff that's going on with Trump these days, the lawsuits, I mean, he has some wins. I know the Supreme Court granted him some immunity on some issues, but with the attempts on his life, with the civil lawsuits, with the SA lawsuits, he's kind of doing the IP lawsuits as we just took a look here. It's not too many that's built that strong, especially at that elderly age, to still be fighting strong, be fighting tough. And I can guarantee you, it doesn't seem like he's going to slow down anytime soon. But again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section of everything that's going on. Let me know if you think he's going to get an influx of cash similar to when he got the judgment against him for what, $300 million. Do you guys think that this assassination attempt on his life would be a similar thing happening in terms of the influx of money? If so, hey, it's good that he has his IP protected. I was just looking at the test database, man. This guy has tens of 40, 50 plus trademarks. I would imagine that he has a number of copyrights as well. So good thing that his IP is protected, so that if people are trying to infringe his trademark, infringe his copyrights, to try to take advantage of this opportunity that I think is coming down the pipeline, you can bet that it's going to be more lawsuits by either Trump, by his partners, 45 Footwear LLC, going after those wrongdoers to get the money that is that is due to him, because he owns the IP for it. So this is the importance of IP, intellectual property, whatever it is, copyrights, patents, trademarks. Make sure you're protecting that IP. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to give you guys more of these current events from an IP perspective. I think this was kind of hot off the press, that I think that, hey, man, it was a good one to break down on my end. So until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace.